I feel like I need to do it for the good of my own understanding and like take an interest in what's going to happen next. But at the same time, I feel like it's just watching a slow motion train wreck half the time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
we'll get into that.
Now, well, we've all three said right there. We'll let everybody know that this is what you're going to expect for the remainder of the episode, because even though we're doing politics and everything, we have a love hate relationship, like Mr. Robot said. So you're not going to hear a lot of propaganda that's being brought in about making America great again. Well, you might hear that from Mark Edworthy because he loves American politics. He loves it.
Yay, if you say so. Yay, America. Hey, yay, US. Yeah.
But anyhow, with that being said, we need to actually get into the first topic. Now, the first area that I want to start out with is the tariffs. Now, everybody knows that we're in the middle of what they prefer, what they like to call the tariff wars.
Speaking of making America great again, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the best way that I found to get into that, which would relate to like the tariffs on an international level, is to kind of talk about a lot of these meetings that Trump has been having with um, foreign diplomats.
Well, before you do that, can you just, for people who aren't familiar, tell them a little bit about what a tariff is and how they have been historically used?
Well, last year we were discussing in Roger's real time talk show, and
Uh,
it was talking about England when they first started putting in their socialist policies. The conservatives were in power with the Tories, and they believed in using tariffs as a form of trade. Now, the socialist movement actually was against tariffs because they believed that when you set tariffs down uh, on products that are coming into your country, it causes, instead of inflation, deflation. And deflation, in turn, is, according to the traditional beliefs behind it, is supposed to cause unemployment, and it's supposed to cause the price of products going up that are being brought into the country. So,
but at
um,
the same time, if it doesn't happen, you get to like what the West is now, is where the currency is so strong that you're not competitive on the international market, and therefore no one's buying your stuff internationally, and so that causes unemployment as well because now you don't need to produce as much stuff because people aren't like buying as much stuff. So
and the big thing about that is like you'll hear a lot of people making this big push where it causes unemployment and a drop in hours and stuff of that nature. Me personally, I don't believe in the 40-hour work week. I think that was probably the worst mistake that freaking anybody ever came up with. And
uh,
I say that for myself too, because like for me personally, like sitting here doing this stuff, if this was a job, I would be doing way more than 40 hours a week. Okay.
It is worth noting that the US, on sort of medium average, full-time workers are working more hours than any other country in the world.
I
Um,
I believe
and
that the
closely
40-hour
followed
work
by
week thing.
UK.
The 40-hour work week thing was decided upon by the ruling class in the 1950s to keep us busy so that we don't ever basically become a competition for them. So the idea was to make us work harder, tax us more, and give us less, and that way it sort of always keeps
I
us in
think
this.
the 40-hour, 38-hour in the UK working week actually comes out of World War II. Comes out of factory mentality during World War II.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm just, yeah.
now
Continue.
Leon Blum or Bloom is actually the guy who came up with it. He came up with it in France just before World War II. He was the one that wanted to implement a crap load of socialist policies in France. Um,
Mm.
the Popular Front government is who voted in the 40-hour work week. They were led by Bloom.
Socialist or communist?
It was socialist. You see, you have the first international and the second international. The communism didn't come into being until the third international, and
Yeah,
they
yeah. It was
so
a bit later.
so you had all of that going with that. But for for me, I'm starting to see that even getting a little bit crazy because now, like a lot of the socialist countries, like over in England and Australia, you guys are wanting to lower it down even lower to like 30-hour weeks and 20-hour weeks.
I don't understand how you think we're socialist.
Well,
I wish we.
your policies are based off of English government.
Yeah.
Not everything. We're just making such a broad statement.
The thing is, the word socialism has been sort of corrupted, in my opinion. It doesn't mean, like, it isn't used now the way it was originally intentioned to be used. And, you know, a lot of people throw the word socialist around nowadays, and it's sort of meant to be a negative thing. When in the past it was about cooperative enterprise and creating prosperity for everyone.
Where did you hear this shit?
Well,
Well,
that's
that's
just how
true.
I
I
understood
mean,
it.
look at the fundamental principles of what you would call our socialist healthcare system. Well, it is a socialist healthcare. The
Yeah.
principle of it is a good idea, rather than having the US sort of free market ideology, which, as we've seen in the US, has caused healthcare costs to rise
It
dramatically.
gives access of healthcare to people who can't always afford it by harnessing the power of collective investment. And like, whereas in the US, you have the privatized system, which causes a whole bunch of people to get bankrupted when they get sick. So there's
Well,
there's a lot to be said for it, I
well,
think.
when you guys talk about this, though, I mean, you're talking about freaking a government uh, regulated healthcare system. I mean, if you're going to make it free, why don't you just make it to where
But
anybody
it's
can
not
go
free. I have to stop
hold
you
up.
on that one. It's not free. It's free at the point
You
of
guys want
access.
your
It's still being
utopian?
paid by taxation.
You guys still
Therefore,
want
it's
your
not free.
utopian future? Let me finish. Okay, you want that utopian uh, future to come to everybody. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's say that no matter who you are, when you need help at the hospital, you go into the hospital without any kind of medical card or any kind of thing that says that you are allowed to have universal health care, and they just treat you, and there's no bill. You walk away, and you never have to see a bill come to your freaking mailbox.
True. We're still paying in taxes. But
No,
this is but there's a wider
do that. You do that
issue
because
there in relation to sort of foreign sort of or let's say the tourist healthcare sort of thing, where we get people from all over the world just come into this country to enjoy our healthcare and then disappearing. So,
Well, that
for
doesn't
them,
make
it
sense.
would be free.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it gets exploited
we,
and
the
it costs a lot of money.
British
So.
taxpayers, are paying for it.
You guys want that though. You want that universal health care. I mean, it's
Not universal for the country. It's like a type of it's for the nation, right?
So now
It's to make life cheaper for the people living there, so that the essentials are taken care of, and people don't have to worry about survival. That's the idea of it, in my opinion.
So now it's only for those certain people and not for everybody.
Well, look what happened to your country when you just started letting illegals in, and now it's a bit of an issue, right? Like they started putting them up in hotels, and it's not really.
Why, as a taxpayer, should I be paying for your health care as a US citizen that is entering this country? Well, and you're not contributing to that health care through taxation.
Well, I am. I'm showing up because I'm sick and I need help. That's how I'm contributing.
I don't know if that's contributing.
Yeah, I mean,
you still pay VAT, but still on goods. But
I'm the sick dude. I'm the sick dude. Out of the kindness of your heart, you should say, "Man, the sick people need to be freaking taken care of."
And that's what we've got.
They do,
that's
but
the
in their own country.
We do, and that's the issue that we've got with the illegal immigration. At this present moment.
No, like that makes sense to me. Like it's about owning the means of production, owning the essentials to survive, and like cooperatively, and then making it cheaper for your own people. Tourists can still get charged for sure, and that creates prosperity inside the country.
Now, see what you guys are talking about is kind of going into the whole National Socialist point of view.
But no. So.
Again, be very careful about how you use
what has happened now since the communist days is the word socialism has become like sort of bastardized, where it really means globalism. When people say socialism now, it really refers to globalism, which is like basically centralized power. Still privatizing everything to large corporations.
There's a difference between communism and National Socialism. Communism is about global power, and National Socialism is about localized.
He's just trying to call us Nazis. That's why.
Yeah. Be very careful about that, because that's been co-opted.
I would never call you two Nazis ever, dude.
I thought you said there wasn't going to be propaganda here, Roger.
No, I'm bringing good topics up here. Like, you know what I mean? It's
a good point. Like the word Nazi was never actually. It was always like a slur word. It wasn't a real word the Germans used. They called it the National Socialist Party. And they created a lot of prosperity for their own people, actually, with their policies after the war. And they took back control of the printing of their own money, kicked out the bankers,
Depends on which side of the border you're looking at, east or west. Yeah.
Well, they just massively improved their living standards within a few years, which was pretty amazing at that time.
Okay, so now that we've covered that, you guys want to talk about the tariffs?
Yeah. Let's
I was going to say yeah.
Okay, now Trump ended up having talks with in Japan. He there's an article out that said that Trump hails big progress in Japan tariff talks. Now, what happened was Trump, in summary,